Show us your courage. Show us your independence. Be a man, be your own man right now and stand up and answer a question, yes or no. A simple yes or no question that shows right now all of America that you're your own man. Did Joe Biden win the 2020 presidential election, yes or no?
The United States Congress.
Oh, there you go. Sir, stop. Federal courts said he did. Can you please tell me a yes or no answer? Tell me no. I can't give you a yes or no answer if that's your answer. Yes or no. Did President Biden win the 2020 elections?
The United States Congress certified Joseph
Sir,
Biden.
you are showing cowardice. And that's the question. Are you going to choose the truth or Trump? Law or his lies? Or are you going to choose the Constitution or cowardice? And I'm not going to support your nomination.
Can a Justice Department nominee be trusted to stand up to a president? Senator Cory Booker put that question to the test with one simple yes or no question, and the answer never came.
This is an administration where the president has repeatedly treated the powers of government as instruments to reward those who help him and punish those who oppose him. We've seen companies attacked because of their news coverage. We've seen the president weigh in on mergers before independent review was even conducted. We've seen companies seeking government approvals, simultaneously resolving private disputes with the president himself, paying him millions of dollars. We've seen law firms, universities, and corporations pressured after becoming presidential targets. We've seen career public servants sidelined after refusing political demands. Again and again, the message has been the same, Mr. Candeub. Please the president and the government will work for you. Cross the president and the government may work against you. That is exactly why the independence of the Antitrust Division matters even more. You said to me in our private meeting, this is about consumer protection. It's about competition. It's about free and fair markets. But we know it's not about that in the Antitrust Division. The facts are plain. Gail Slater and two of her deputies followed the facts and the law and brought suit to block the HPE-Juniper merger. When Trump-aligned lobbyists went over their heads, they secured a sweetheart deal. And Gail Slater, who objected to the settlement, was fired. In the Stanley Woodard and Todd Blanche, who would be your bosses, cleared a $111 million Paramount-Warner merger without any conditions at all. Staff who reviewed the transaction before they could even issue a formal recommendation, they were going to recommend blocking the merger. You can even look at the Live Nation Ticketmaster. Career attorneys were in federal court alongside a bipartisan coalition of state AGs fighting that massive dominance of that venue ticketing conglomerate when senior DOJ officials bypassed them and negotiated a backdoor deal after the president met with the CEO. This is why it's important for us to know, will you follow the facts and the law? Will you listen to career staff? Or are you going to follow the dictates of a president who's shown over and over again that he's going to abuse his position to influence the law? So everything comes down to a simple question. It's not matter whether you know antitrust law. It's whether you have the courage to tell this president no when it's hard.
Before today's hearing, President Trump nominated Adam Candeub to lead the Justice Department's Antitrust Division after his service as FCC General Counsel. If confirmed, he would oversee federal merger reviews and major antitrust enforcement actions across the country.
So let me make this easy. Show us your courage. Show us your independence. Be a man, be your own man right now and stand up and answer a question, yes or no. A simple yes or no question that shows right now all of America that you're your own man. I don't need legalese. I don't need trickery. Yes or no. Did Joe Biden win the 2020 presidential election? Yes or no?
The United States Congress.
Oh, there you go. Sir, stop. Federal courts said he did. President's own attorney general said yes. President's own cybersecurity director said yes. Republicans all over this country said yes. And right now, you're not showing me. You can't even acknowledge a fact that's been established by the courts, the president's own attorney general, by his own election security officials. Why should we believe that you're going to stand up to this president when billions of dollars are at stake and the fate of mergers are in your hands? This is the pivotal question. Can you please tell me a yes or no answer? Tell me no, I can't give you a yes or no answer if that's your answer. Yes or no, did President Biden win the 2020 elections?
The United States Congress certified Joseph
Sir,
Biden.
you are showing cowardice. And that's the question. Are you going to choose the truth or Trump? Law or his lies? Or are you going to choose the Constitution or cowardice? Let me ask you one final question to maybe bring this into light and show me that you're your own man. I'm asking this very simply. Show me or tell me one single occasion, publicly or privately, where you pushed back against this president. One time, after he suggested that government decisions should be guided by his personal political interests, can you tell the American public, I know you and your wife probably don't agree on 100 out of 100. I have a litany of things I disagree with Biden and Obama on. Give me one thing that you thought the President of the United States has done that you think is wrong, untoward, corrupt, policy disagreement. One thing for the American public. Here's your chance. Show me you're your own man.
I've always, in my government capacity, and I look forward to doing so, to make all of my decisions according to the law and the facts.
Sir, stop. This is a game. This is really a game. American people have the right to be concerned that this president, through the facts of the Antitrust Committee, is going to use his power to influence you in your job. I'm not asking you to come out against the president. I'm not asking you to go against the truth. I've given you opportunities here to show us in the easiest questions possible that you're your own man. And you haven't given me one shred of evidence that you can stand up and choose the truth over Trump, the law over lies, the Constitution over his continued corruption. I'm disappointed. I was looking for one thing to show independence. You told me in my office, I will be independent. And this is disappointment that you can't give me one example of you differing with a person that most of America knows, has lied repeatedly in his office, has taken on policies that have been detrimental to the independence of the judiciary. And I'm not going to support your nomination. Thank you.
Since this August 5th, 2026 Senate Judiciary Committee hearing, the issues Senator Cory Booker raised about the independence of the Justice Department's Antitrust Division have remained active as the Senate continues reviewing Adam Candeub's nomination to serve as Assistant Attorney General for Antitrust. Following the hearing, senators submitted additional written questions for the record addressing Candeub's views on antitrust enforcement, the role of career attorneys, and the independence of the division from political influence. As of the latest Senate Judiciary Committee records, Candeub has not yet been confirmed, and his nomination remains pending before the Senate. The committee has continued processing nominations while reviewing nominees' written responses before scheduling further action. The broader antitrust issues discussed during the hearing have also continued evolving. The Department of Justice's Antitrust Division remains engaged in several major competition cases involving large technology, media, and live entertainment companies, keeping congressional attention focused on whether enforcement decisions are being driven by evidence, competition law, and consumer welfare. Members of both parties have continued emphasizing that merger reviews should remain independent of political considerations and based on established legal standards. Oversight of the Antitrust Division has therefore extended beyond this nomination, with lawmakers continuing to scrutinize how major enforcement decisions are made and the role of career attorneys in those decisions. At the time of writing, there has been no public finding by a court or inspector general establishing unlawful political interference in the specific merger decisions referenced during this hearing, but congressional oversight of those matters remains ongoing. The hearing itself became less about technical antitrust doctrine than about whether the person nominated to lead one of the Justice Department's most influential divisions would demonstrate independence from political pressure. Senator Cory Booker argued that the position demands someone willing to follow facts and the law even when doing so conflicts with the preferences of the president or senior political officials. Rather than focusing on economic theories of competition or merger analysis, Booker framed the confirmation hearing as a test of institutional independence. Booker pointed to several high-profile antitrust matters, including major merger reviews and ongoing litigation, to argue that career attorneys had at times been overridden by senior political leadership. Those examples formed the basis for his larger concern that political influence could undermine confidence in impartial enforcement of the nation's antitrust laws. His argument was that public trust depends not only on reaching lawful decisions, but also on demonstrating that those decisions are made independently. Instead of remaining on competition policy, Booker shifted to a question he viewed as a simple test of independence, whether Candeub would plainly acknowledge that Joe Biden won the 2020 presidential election. Candeub repeatedly answered by referring to the constitutional certification process carried out by Congress rather than directly saying yes. Booker argued that the election results had already been confirmed through state certifications, electoral college votes, congressional certification, and numerous court proceedings, and that avoiding a direct answer raised broader questions about the nominee's willingness to state established facts. Booker then broadened the discussion by asking Candeub to identify a single instance in which he had publicly or privately disagreed with President Trump. The senator argued that every independent advisor inevitably disagrees with the leaders they serve on at least some issues, and suggested that acknowledging even one disagreement would demonstrate professional independence. Candeub instead responded that his decisions in government would always be guided by the law and the facts rather than personal or political considerations, but he declined to identify a specific disagreement with the president. That exchange highlighted one of the central purposes of Senate confirmation hearings. Senators are not only evaluating legal knowledge or professional qualifications, they are also assessing judgment, candor, independence, and the ability to exercise authority without improper influence. Particularly for senior Justice Department positions, lawmakers frequently examine how nominees respond when faced with politically sensitive questions, because those responses may provide insight into how they would handle future enforcement decisions involving powerful interests. The hearing also reflected a broader debate over the proper relationship between the White House and the Department of Justice. While every administration sets overall policy priorities, long-standing institutional norms emphasize that prosecutorial and enforcement decisions should ultimately be grounded in statutory authority, factual evidence, and independent legal analysis. Booker's questions reflected concern about preserving those norms, whereas Candeub consistently emphasized his commitment to making decisions according to the law without directly engaging the political hypotheticals posed during the hearing. Looking back, the hearing became a discussion about much more than one nominee or one antitrust division. It underscored how public confidence in the justice system depends not only on legal expertise, but also on the perception that officials entrusted with significant enforcement authority are willing to apply the law impartially, acknowledge established facts, and exercise independent judgment regardless of political pressure. Those issues continue to shape the Senate's consideration of senior Justice Department nominees and the broader debate over the independence of federal law enforcement institutions.